I apparently just forgot I had a YouTube channel for a little bit, so sorry about that. If you don't know me, my name is Lynn. I'm a third year student in Management, Economics, and Finance at the University of Guelph, and I'm also an international student. This year, I am a cluster leader for the Commerce Cluster, which is in Maritime Residence, which is South. Uh, if you don't go here, that was a lot of words, but hopefully you can watch some of my other videos and figure it out. Today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Great Ethical Dilemma, which is an amazing event that Professor Rhodenberg puts on for all of the Management 1000 students. And it's actually happening this Friday, which is hopefully when this video is coming out. And I wanted to tell you a bit about my experience in the Great Ethical Dilemma, as well as what it may look like now. And I'm also going to be volunteering at the event on Friday, so perhaps I can get some clips in from that and show you what it looks like now, post-COVID impact. Like, we're still in COVID, obviously, but the impact has been made. So yeah, let's get into the video. For a little bit of background, Management 1000 is a full credit course that all business students have to take in their first year if you're not getting any transfer credits that might also qualify for that intro to business title that it holds. And all of the Management 1000 courses, to my knowledge, are taught by Professor Rhodenberg. She's an absolute sweetie. You should be so excited for this course. It was one of my favorites my first year. And the capstone project at the end of the course is called The Great Ethical Dilemma. So in the course, you go to lecture and then you go to seminar. In your seminars, you're in group projects for the whole semester, the same group, and you're working with one company. In my year, I worked with a power company that mainly worked in windmills, power generating windmills. So we spent the whole semester looking at their financial information, evaluating them from a business standpoint, through an internal lens, through an external lens, looking at their opportunities, their threats, lots of things that you learn about throughout the semester. But then at the end of the semester, you go into something called the Great Ethical Dilemma, which is your company has a problem that has ethical impacts, not just financial impacts, and you have to figure out the best way to solve that problem within, I think it's 36 hours you have. Professor Rhodenberg has a really good video out on this. I might be able to link it in the description that describes the whole thing. But basically, your group of 5 people gets your prompt, like the dilemma that's happening, and then 36 hours later, you're in a presentation presenting to 4 or 5 people in the room the way that you solved the problem. So for my group, like I said, we worked with a power company, and our ethical dilemma was that our company wanted to put windmills in an area offshore of Australia, but their research showed that there was an endangered species of bats there, and so we were trying to figure out a way to prevent the bats from being killed by the windmills, which is something that happens. You might not know. So basically what we did was we got our prompt the morning or the afternoon of Wednesday, and we started individually brainstorming ideas about different ways we think we could solve it based on our knowledge of the company that we've had built up over the semester, and our knowledge of endangered species, our knowledge of Australia as a country. And then the next day, which is Thursday morning, we started meeting in person to compile our thoughts into a cohesive message that we wanted. And then we actually turned it in by Thursday night, our presentation, and we started discussing what we were going to wear for the presentation, like our in-person presentation. We started going over like practice runs of our presentation so that everyone knew when they were speaking, what they were going to say, things like that. And then on Friday, we presented. I'm being a little bit vague about this because it is a real company that operates in Canada that I did this ethical dilemma for. I think that the dilemma was fake. Sometimes the companies do have an actual real dilemma that they're working through, and they just want some more new ideas, which Professor Rhodenberg does a great job of pitching the ethical dilemma to companies so that they'll participate as well. And usually the people that are evaluating your presentation are some professor from the School of Business, usually your TA, the person that's been teaching your seminars, and someone from the company. So in our case, our company did not send a delegate, so we got someone from another power company, but he was the CEO of that company. And so he was listening to a lot of presentations by fresh young minds about how you might solve this situation if it ever came up in their business. And then on the day of the event, you do your presentation, you get graded on that presentation, and the rubrics are sent to one area where they're all compiled together, and you are ranked against people that were in the same company as you. And so, for example, there was, in my year, 6 power companies, and I can't remember what the other one was. I think it was apparel, 6 apparel companies that we were all working for. And there's a lot of people in this class, so there's a lot of groups presenting using the same dilemma and using the same company. So basically we were ranked against all of the people that were using our same company and same dilemma. And our group was actually coming in first for most of the day. And the reward for finishing in first at the end of the day is that you get to go to a dinner and you get to like mix and mingle with all of these important people in industries that you've just spent a whole lot of time evaluating. So usually they end up offering someone a job. Many times multiple people jobs, because now they've got this person that knows their company inside and out, and they've got great ideas that as they can demonstrate from their presentation. So yeah, it's a very good marketing opportunity for self-marketing, self-promoting, networking. So that's a very good incentive. And you also get a fully catered dinner, which is super nice as well. But unfortunately, my group didn't end up winning. We came up with a plan to paint the windmills purple because bats chase after bugs, and bugs, we found in some research studies, are averse to landing on the color purple. So we thought it was great. It was great for most of the day. But then the last couple of groups presented, and they found out that it's actually illegal to put offshore windmills in Australia. So we got beat because we didn't look into the specific laws of the area. But there's lots of fun little tricks like that in the dilemmas that can give you a little bit of an edge. And usually no one's coming up with the same answer because they are such moral and ethical problems. So everyone's going to have a little bit of a different perspective and opinion. And this ethical dilemma is one of my favorite things about the University of Guelph. There's so many professors like Professor Rhodenberg who really want you to succeed, and they set you up in so many opportunities for networking and planning and showing you real life experience, even in your first semester at the University of Guelph, is something that definitely swayed my opinion to come here. And hopefully it will sway yours too. I think it's a really great opportunity. If there's other universities that offer a similar type of thing, definitely look into it, ask their students about how they liked it, what they thought the main takeaways were from the program, things like that. And I just find it really cool that it's a required course and you're automatically launched into case studies and really important things like ethical problems that if you had the choice of taking it, maybe you wouldn't, maybe you would avoid it, but it really broadens your horizons as a student and as a person, and especially as a future employee to these multinational brands, billion-dollar companies that are looking at the University of Guelph for future interns. So like I said, this week is Ethical Dilemma Week, and I am not one of the TAs for the course, but I will be volunteering on the day, helping move students from the lobby area to their specific room that they'll be presenting in, trying to calm students down because there's, of course, a lot of nerves on this day. You've worked really hard all semester. This is worth a big percentage of your grade, and you've only had 36 hours to complete the assignment. So yeah, there's a lot of stress on this day, but hopefully as one of the volunteers, I can mitigate some of that stress. I'll be able to talk to some of the students about their presentations and definitely talk to the TAs about their favorite parts about the ethical dilemma as well. A couple of my friends that you might have seen in a previous video coming to lectures with me, they are actually TAs for the Management 1000 course, which is a very involved process. It's not just like they pull anyone in off the street and tell you, go teach this really important class to all these students. Like every first year student has to take this. The steps to becoming a TA for Management 1000 is to take Management 3300, I believe it's called. Basically, it's another leadership class that Professor Rhodenberg teaches, and then from that class she chooses her TAs and puts them on the payroll. And they have lots of meetings about how to uniformly teach the students, how their students are doing in the components that lead up to the ethical dilemma, all those sorts of things. So rest assured, these are not just normal students who are TAing for your course. they've gone through a lot of vigorous weeding out processes to make sure that they're getting the cream of the crop to teach the students, the new students, the best way to go about these ethical dilemmas. So without further ado, let's head on over to some vlog footage from the actual day of the event. It is a formal event, so you'll see me in my dress clothes, and hopefully I get some vlog footage of either the students on the day or maybe the TAs talking with me about their process for preparing for the ethical dilemma, and maybe even Professor Rhodenberg, who knows. But yeah, I'll see you in the vlog. So welcome to the vlog portion of the video. Here is my outfit for the day. I felt really cute, non-intimidating. Right now you're seeing me walk from South, where I live, all the way to MacDonald Hall, which is on north side of campus. All of the ethical dilemma presentations are held on north side of campus in the School of Business, in MacDonald Hall, MacDonald Stewart Institute, and Mac Stewart Hall. I'm not really sure what the last one's called. It's Max, and Mins. So we're walking all the way on North Campus. It's about a 12-minute walk, and this is at 7 in the morning. So there's literally no one on campus, just that one squirrel that ran by. And today is literally the best that campus ever looks, because all of the business students are dressed up in a literal suit and tie all day long. You see them milling around campus. It's so confusing for all the science students. All of my friends in science are like, what is going on? Because literally everyone is like the fanciest they've ever looked in their life. And that actually plays into some of the advice that I got from the TAs from asking them while we were at the event. One of the top things they said was dress to impress. You really want to look like a unified front. You all want to be looking really great on your presentation day. It just gives you those extra subliminal points for your evaluator to show them that you care about what you're doing and that you understand what's going on. So here you can see all the volunteers and TAs milling around getting a debrief for the day. Professor Rhodenberg just walked by. You probably can't pick her out of the crowd. This is where I was volunteering. I was checking people in at the desk with Ashley here in Mins. And here is the Instagram stories for the Great Ethical Dilemma from the Lang School of Business Instagram account. They live Instagram story the whole day so that you can be up to date about what's going on, who's in first place for each company. It's really interesting to watch all day, and especially if you're one of the groups participating, your eyes are glued to these Instagram stories. So hopefully you've been able to read them a little bit as we've been going through. They explain a little bit about what the ethical dilemma is. Here's the companies that are all represented this year at the ethical dilemma. And here were the TAs and judges, like the story says. They're getting their special debrief. They're watching Professor Rhodenberg's video just so that they can get an idea of what they're getting themselves into. Hopefully they had a little bit of an idea beforehand. They take a couple of pictures of the groups after they presented. You can see everyone looks pretty fancy. And then, of course, they report their first results for the day. This is another group standing outside, no masks. Here was the next set of results. They update, I think, 4 times during the day. And there's another group that has already presented during the day. So there was the results. Wow. As a cluster leader, 4 of my students actually ended up winning. And then here's the little reception. It did happen to be online this year. Here was a group that ended up winning the dilemma, so they're super excited about it. And yeah. Just some concluding thoughts. It's back to the day I originally filmed the first part of this video, so hopefully the vlog went well. You liked the footage from that day. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure to leave you with some concluding notes about the ethical dilemma and the Management 1000 course, and sort of the business program as a whole at the University of Guelph. Definitely my favorite thing about first year was participating in this ethical dilemma. I still talk to my group members all the time. They're in lots of my courses. We got each other's backs because we worked so much with each other in first year. It was a really great relationship building opportunity for me, not only on a student level, but also with Professor Rhodenberg and with my TAs, things like that. So definitely don't squander this opportunity that you have by taking this required course. And I think that that's the attitude that you should have with most required courses at the University of Guelph. Like, most of them are put in place to teach you something that's not just the course content. Usually there's something that you have to learn about yourself along the way. I'm sure this is true for many universities, but speaking from my own experience, my most important lessons from coming to University of Guelph have not been about supply and demand or about how to balance a balance sheet. It's been about personal growth and personal learning. And I think that everyone should go into university with that mindset of growth and learning within yourself is more important than any of the technical skills that you're going to learn. Because let's face it, a lot of times when you get onto a job, your training that you did in university might not be relevant, or it might be just marginally relevant, and now you have to learn a whole bunch of new processes. So yeah, to wrap up that whole mess, take advantage of all the opportunities you have at university. This is a little look inside of one opportunity called The Great Ethical Dilemma for the Management 1000 course, and I hope to see you in some of my other future videos or past videos about the University of Guelph. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you want to see more, and let me know down in the comments below if you have any questions. I read all my comments and suggestions for future videos. See you guys later!